Okay, so I think where we last left off was, yeah, just to recap, um, Zed, you were headed downstairs towards the Zephyr engines, the Zephyr drive, to hopefully defend the ship against destruction wrought by the release of the pseudo snakes. And you were heading down there with both Laith and Isil, the possessor of the key and the lock herself. Um, Meanwhile, you were unwittingly potentially being pursued or stalked, perhaps, by Scabs and Basilia Bessemer, who has revealed herself to be possibly in league with the people who release those pseudopods or pseudosnakes. Um, you guys have, like narratively, a little bit of time. Some minutes will pass at the very least as you find your way down beneath into the bowels of the ship, with so much of the attention drawn to the deck of the ship, where has sprouted a diverse and cluttered biosphere, uh, both like earth and water and the animals that had lived in that, and trees, whole forest glade has popped up amidst the on the deck of the ship, and that is the release that spontaneous combustion of nature upon this flying vessel, um, combined with all these animals getting loose, including some specially adapted snakes to be that are like maybe a little extra resourceful and a little extra hardy, getting loose on the ship. Um, Caused a significant distraction, and you find getting beneath into the depths of the ship, your progress is really unhindered. So if there's anything that either of you guys would like to do during that like descent as you guys get down there, just hypothetically, for instance, Scabs, I believe it was you that previously, or was it Zed? I can't remember who found earlier was looking for like a room with medical supplies, but didn't roll so great and found just like a med kit, like an emergency med kit strapped to a wall somewhere. Um, is there anything you guys would like to look for or do, or yeah, just or you can also just set the scene as you for me as you're running into the ship at full speed.
Well, I know two things. One, listen, everybody. I don't know where Scabs went, but that dude's sneaky, so keep an eye out. And
Yeah, he killed me earlier, but again, I got better.
yeah, yeah, he's pretty good at the killing part, and so far has not tried to kill me. I don't. Is there a reason he kills you?
I have no idea. He seems to, well, no, I think she says actually, because you did have a conversation with her. He knew about uh myself, though he was seemed surprised that my person, I am, or my blood or whatever it is, the lock. But he knew of both, the key and the lock, and he knew that they'd both be aboard the ship when we weren't supposed to be taking the same transportation.
Huh. And you're sure he knew? He's been doing a lot of drugs since we started. Like some of the things that he's been saying might not be completely coherent or truthful.
He knew things that even he shouldn't have been able to. He shouldn't have known. I can't speak to all his beliefs. He does seem to be. I don't know what his purpose is, but he knew that we would both be on the ship, and I didn't even know that.
Hmm.
So at least some of what he's saying is has some truth to it. Some of what he's believing.
How did you end up on this ship?
Lath speaks up and he says, I followed my instructions handed to me. Um,
Yes, I knew you were going to be here. I've been sent to look for you and make sure that you were successful in your mission. Seems that you have friends.
it's good to hear. Um, I followed the instructions. My instructions had not changed recently, except for I was expecting a detail to accompany me who failed to arrive. And Isil says that my instructions did change just 3 days ago. Well, I can't know for sure. I I didn't know which ship I would be on until 3 days ago. I guess it's more accurate to say. So, and I also was expecting an entourage to accompany me, and was also surprised to find them not aboard the ship. I
And when you say entourage, do you mean like who? Guards of a city, hired armsmen?
um
Who was supplying these guards?
I have that in my notes.
Additional notes.
The orders, which you've I think heard this before in this in this one shot. The orders of the keepers of the tide.
I mean, Zeb doesn't know about that, but
They it's an organization of an affiliation of various groups that seek to continue or keep the binding of the first nightmare. And it is our purpose to send it beyond our world so it can never trouble us again.
send the nightmare beyond our worlds?
Yes,
But it's already locked away. In the
locked away, looming above our world, waiting to break its spines at any moment should, well, maybe Scabs is one such servant, but
I
it
mean,
has servants here that seek to free it.
let's not jump to conclusions about
He
people.
said he did help kill those others that released the pseudo snakes.
Yeah, we don't want any.
Maybe he's a third party.
He seems a little chaotic, neutral.
Oh, one of those.
It's literally what I was going for with this character.
You portray it well. And was there anything suspicious about these people not showing up? Because I'm here to protect and make sure that this key goes, but I was definitely not sent here by the Tide Keepers.
Well, if there were, I can only hypothesize that if there were murmurations in certain, less than legal circles that something was happening or that there was if, our orders were changed and some people were intercepted, I hope nobody died. But if somebody heard that there might be trouble, perhaps you were just dispatched by an ally separately. I don't know.
I don't think they suspected trouble, just not that I remember from the dossier that I definitely read, but they did just want to make sure that everything went smoothly. They said that it was very important that this mission of yours was completed.
Well, they were right.
Well, then, let's get to the bottom of the ship and make sure that we don't crash into the ground.
Agreed. That's failing that. That's a few. There should be escape pods on the engine level as well. Should we need to leave if we fail? So
No failure is not an option. I was told to get you to Lumos and to Lumos. Well, I'm responsible for this one, but I think I can make both of you work with me here.
fantastic. So they confer with each other as they rush down deeper into the ship. Scabs, you're running along with Basilia.
Still looking for a med bay. Trying to get some poison antidote and possibly a healing potion.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you give me another investigation check? And if you would like, actually, I think I can just roll for Basilia. Are you trying to hide your wounded state from her?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so. He's drugged out and desperate.
Okay. She'll then she'll give you advantage then on that search, seeing your wounded state and knowing that she has a vested interest in you helping her right now. So
Awesome. I rolled a 2 at first, so thank God. 17 plus investigations 2, so 19.
19. Good enough to find a small little like medical supply closet. Going in there you find just like mostly full of just like bullshit that isn't really. It's like tiny like little like prepared like wet cloths and things like this, just like mundane shit. But you do also find a small compartment um which does contain two common healing potions. And you additionally do find, as this is a cruise ship that travels across or through many different regions, a variety of antiviral, antibiotics, and antivenoms, and other supplies. So you can go ahead and cure your poison state, and you can also, if you want to take an antidote or two, you're welcome to do that as well,
And
in case
afterwards,
you again get poisoned in the future.
yeah, he's gonna start. He's gonna go over to like a water dispenser and just start like chugging glass after glass of water. Oh, this fucking cottonmouth! This blue crystal really fucks you up.
uh, Basilia raises an eyebrow and says, "Well, you're probably not going to take a shit for 2 days. Good luck."
Oh, thank you so much for helping me find this place. I don't know my way around.
Well, we're in this together. At least we found some common ground with someone aboard this vessel. And I can't have you dragging me down, can I?
No, of course not. Looks like she's with some muscle too.
Hmm. Well, interesting. I
Yeah,
thought we had dealt with most of that.
yeah, she's got quite a bunch on her. Really knocked my jaw.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And they're also they got help. There's a big guy. You'll see him.
Well, between the two of us, let's deal with them. Sure, we can seem particularly sneaky sort. Do you want to try and get the jump on him, and I can run into support after you start something?
Aye, sounds great. I doubt they'll
Good.
be quiet if they're going to be trying to fight off them snakes.
True enough. We'll have the advantage. Good. Do you wish me to keep staying in front of you? Do you trust me yet?
Aye, and aye. We can work out what happens after we collect them.
Well, it seems at the very least we can find something resembling a 50-50 split.
Aye, I only need one.
Good enough for me. And you continue on. Um, My dinner arrived shortly ago. Do you guys mind if we take a 10-minute break here and then we'll get to the action below?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Ooh, the action below. I
That's my
love the
stage
name of
name.
this movie.
So, it is not long before first Zed, you find yourself um, at the door to the Zephyr Drive, the actual heart or engine of of this vessel of the Infinite Dawn. Um, you pretty hard to interpret, but we'll take it. You find the door is locked. There's a basically like at this point there's like a uh some sort of like signet or key reader thing on to the right of the door, um, which is not something you have at this point. There is, however, a portal in the door, so you can actually like see inside. There's like kind of rectangular, like kind of like glass, but it doesn't really feel like glass. Sort of construction on the door that lets you see inside. And you see someone inside. The lone worker still down here beneath in the first one you've seen, and since the calamity happened up on top of the ship, first one you've seen in some time. Um, what do you want to do? What is that? What is that? Is that
Beetle.
oh.
Beetleborgs. Beetleborgs.
I'll be right back.
You know, I've noticed a little infestation here.
Have somebody.
I have returned.
Welcome back. So, Zed, the engine room is before you, but the way is shut. Instead, keep it. Or rather, just a lock. A technomancy lock. But you see a worker inside. What do you want to do?
Me or Scabs?
Oh, you are the first
Oh,
one. Yeah, Scabs, you was started down into the ship, while Scabs was first like looking for a way off the ship, and then recruited Basilia and is now chasing after you.
okay. Sorry. My head is very tired today,
It's all
so I
that blue crystal you had
apologize. All
earlier.
that blue crystal. I didn't have any yet. Uh, I knock.
Yeah. You it's a a solid door, so you kind of like knock. Doesn't really register too hard, so give it a good, solid pound. And you draw the attention of this kind of it's like older, like sort of like guy in a maintenance outfit. Certainly not one of the crew that actually like interfaces with the passengers. He, like looks over to the door as he hears it, and gives you kind of a quizzical look, seeing someone he doesn't recognize pounding on the door to his workspace.
Also, I'm gonna take a quick moment to bamf my weapon out of existence so that not to look as intimidating.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. You've drawn his attention. What next?
I like try to wave him over to open the door.
He
Open! Open!
comes over to the door, and he like can't hear you through the door, but he like says like,
Oh, I can't hear him. And I can't see him, I guess.
you can.
Mouthing to me.
Oh, that's so true. Always forget you're blind.
It's okay. I have two other people. I just assumed that
Yeah,
they told me that someone was in there.
Lath is
Uh,
like, yeah, he's mouthing something. He wants to know why you should open the door, who we are.
Tell him that the captain wants us to talk to him. I start signing trees and snakes. Up there!
um, yeah. Why don't you give me a persuasion check with advantage?
That's got to be performance, right? No.
Oh man, I'm really bad at rolling things. 10.
um, he looks at you all. Doesn't see any like weapons drawn or any sign of ill intent amongst you, and just sees this odd group of what seem to be. Are you still dressed as a crew member? Said.
Yes.
Okay. He cracks the door, like turning like some sort of like circular like hatch opener lever, and rotates it, and the door unlocks, and you feel like it just like just like the pressure differential suddenly shifts as like there's some amount of airflow or pressure change between the chamber you're in, the tunnel you're in, or hallway you're in rather, and this engine room. Um, he swings the door in or out rather, and says, What was that? Snakes on the plane? I mean airship?"
You know what? I'm kind of sick and tired of it. Yeah. I don't know. Have you been in here the whole time?
uh, not not the whole voyage. I've been on shift for the last 6 hours.
Oh, you've missed a lot. Um, there's giant snakes
Mm-hmm.
and currently a forest on the top decks.
Mm-hmm.
You don't seem shocked by this.
Uh, I work with an engine and whose fuel is the substrate of a elemental plane of air. If I don't do my job right, this ship explodes into a giant portal to a different realm of existence. It is not unimaginable to me that something like this could have happened.
I need to know exactly how you could do your job wrong that would make that happen. It might not have any implications for right now, but far, far in the future it might.
Hmm. As you say this, you hear a little drip, drip, drip,
Are we? Oh
drip,
shit! Look
and
up.
you look up. And you see pseudo snakes beginning to acid their way through the ceiling, and one plops down next to you. He says, "Oh, snakes can eat through the hole too. All right then."
There's more coming. These ones are different and were let out by a different set of beings. Shit's gonna get really bad. What happens if those make it all the way through the hole?
Well, depending on if they perforate the hole in enough places, it's possible that the ship itself will fall apart. or the magic binding the hole will cease to recognize it as a single piece and will collapse on itself. Furthermore, it could just it could be fine if depending on how many of these things there are and how many of them shoot through the hole, how many holes we end up with,
All
we
right.
might be able to struggle through, but I don't want to take that bet. What are we doing?
Option A, and I think one that we should definitely start on right now is kill these motherfuckers before they can get there and protect the engine. Lath, Issel, you got a way to kill these damn things?
You already see like Issel has like just struck out with this like swift blow with a well practiced kick, just like squishing one of the pseudo snake that just plopped on the ground next to you. And then another one's like falling out of the air, and she just like with this like lightning quick strike punches it, and it just like splatters. And you see that there's like a sizzling around her for a moment, just like glowing fist. And she says, I can manage, I think.
Okay, careful, they acid hurts. Lath, water, Genasi's. Any way you could potentially put a barrier somewhere or do something?
I, if I can get some water in the engine room, I can manipulate it to provide interception of these things falling on the engine itself.
Well, let me tell you, I'm hot as hell and I've been sweating a lot. If you need any water, just look no further.
The engine worker, um, uh, Sal Greaseman, he introduces himself as. He says to Lath, "Hey, right over there. Just put a hole in that pipe. Get all the water you need. Non-essential. Maybe a few people lose their baths."
Eat the rich.
And Lath goes to work. Lath goes to work like getting water sprayed into this chamber, which it's like a smallish pipe, maybe like a I mean for water pressure, pretty wild, but like it's like a maybe like 2-inch pipe that gets broken open and just a like stream of water is just jetting into this chamber, which Lath begins like manipulating like a avatar water bender, using like control water spell, and like quickly like he sees like a pseudo snake falling over the in like main engine, one of the main engine turbine things, and just like quickly like throws water at it to just deflect it away from the engine so it lands elsewhere. And also you notice that that strips it of some of its acidic coating and acidic content, so it doesn't burn through the floor as quickly after Lath has intercepted it.
I go over and
Um,
start stomping them as they are less acidic and on the floor.
Um, Beating you to it is the swift Issel, who gets to this one with a surprising burst of speed, and again just like swiftly strikes this one down, smearing it against the ship's hull.
You're fast. I like you. All right, Sal, is there? Your job is helping us prep option B. Are there escape pods on the ship just in case shit goes down?
There are maybe 100 yards down the passage to the aft of the ship.
Do they
Find
need to be
a cluster of
prepped?
them. Briefly, a very brief period. He says not more than uh, 10, 12 seconds should be able to be in the air.
Okay, perfect. Now, I don't assume that you're gonna be great at this, but maybe you are. Here's an X. Hit Snake. Alphonse, out in the hall. If any of those little shits try to come after us, let us know.
Yeah, you got it.
And then
Totally forgot Alphonse Festrius was with you.
he's got an axe. He's ready to go.
Sal says, sounds good. I'll keep an eye out for these things to smash them, but I'll also keep an eye on the engine, make sure that aforementioned nightmare scenario of enormous portal exploding through our bodies, creating a window into the realm of the ether, seems not great. So I'll
I
keep an eye on that.
appreciate that wholeheartedly. And last question. Last I checked, Captain was a little busy. Steering the ship possible from down here, or
Can't steer
no?
it from down here.
Great, excellent. Well,
Though I can disable the steering from down here.
I,
Put it in a safe mode where it just tries to stay afloat.
we need to keep moving forward. Do you feel any big movements of the ship going off course? Great option.
You got it.
Ugh. Are the other two getting the most of these snakes quickly without my assistance, or are they? Does it look like I'm gonna need to help in order to make sure that we don't do too much damage to the hull?
Um, that's a good question. And one that can only be answered by like some time of observation. So why don't you give me a perception check as you watch them at work and kind of just like looking at the flow of pseudo snakes into this space and their ability to take care of them.
Okay, we're all close together. That being said, I still took this at disadvantage because I have to be within 10 feet to see what they're doing. I rolled a 20 and a 19. So the
Fantastic.
answer to the final perception check is 21.
You know that the rate at which these things are falling through the hole above is increasing, at least for the moment. It's going to get worse before it gets better. At this moment, they're keeping up with it, but they're keeping up with like stuff that's falling directly on the engines and like the important components, but there's still like other ones that are like going through the hole, like just like falling into this, this engine room or the halls outside, and then just going deeper down to presumably fall through the ship. Um, I
I'm
think
gonna
that's
cast Sword Burst as many times as I can anytime I feel those things around me, and
mhm.
then anytime that I don't think Mold Earth will work. So yeah,
Yeah, mold earth will definitely not work in this place.
I'm just gonna get them as many times as I can to help
Awesome.
out.
So it is upon this situation that our good villain or free agent Scabs enters. Scabs, you wanted to stealth a little ahead of Basilia Bessemer and see what you could see before you just ran into a fight blind. Um, Note though that as you have run down, you've been like quickly running down flight after flight of stairs, like, getting deeper into the ship. You have noticed the now at least occasional the beginnings of these pseudo snakes, them plopping down into this deck. So you're on as you get onto the same deck as the engine room, like you're noticing these things you've been like kind of like chasing them downstairs, and now you've like kind of come into the space where they're like just beginning to reach this level themselves. And you're down here on this level as the occasional one just plops down around you, and occasionally you hear the sizzling above you on the ceiling as they burn their way into this floor, dodging the occasional like dripping of this acid. You travel into this this engine level following the clearly marked signage to the engine itself, so there's no difficulty finding it at this point. And more than that, you soon hear the echoing callers of Zed as Zed organizes the people to defend the engine from the onslaught of pseudosnakes. And I think you hear that echoing down this hallway before you even need to make a stealth check or anything. So what would you like to do?
I think before I even get that far, is it possible the snake people that we fought before, did they have poison on their weapons? I can't remember how I got poisoned.
Um,
Either way, he's gonna ask Basilia if she has any poison. Have you any poison?
uh, she says, I do, but none I can easily hand over. And she like grins as like two fangs like protrude from her mouth.
Ah, you don't think I'm adept at getting poison from a snake? I actually do have the proficiency with poisoning kit, which I have with me.
Do you have proficiency with animal handling?
I do not. She's not an animal. Don't be mean.
um, why don't you why don't you give me a persuasion check?
Yeah, he pulls out like a vial with a cork in it. It won't be too bad, lass. Just a minute
DC is 20 on this.
for persuasion.
Yeah.
I have a -1, so there's no way I can hit 20.
If you get a nat 20, I'll give it to you.
10.
She says with a scowl, I think not.
I'd be so much more effective with it. All right then. So yeah, he'll kind of sneak ahead. I see like seeing Alphonse standing on a catway or something, or down a hallway.
Yeah, so yeah, Alphonse would be set outside the engine. So that's who you would first see when you stealthed up. So that's your plan, is to just hit the stealth button and roll in, see what you see.
He just wants to like get as far as once he sees Alphonse, he'll head back to Basilia.
Yeah, easily done, and not like easily enough done. Like you hear the sound of Zed and the others talking like through the echoing down the hallways to know how like relatively close you are. So you can just like do a quick peek around one of the corner that you expect, and you see Alphonse just like just looking around. But just like you can get that information, I'll say, without the stealth check there. He's not. Well, no. Yeah, if you want to be able to see him, it will require a stealth check. And he is actively looking, so he'll do a perception.
18.
Yeah, you duck your head around quickly. You see Alphonse nervously fidgeting. He's like working himself up to smash a pseudo snake that's fallen on the ground but near him, and he's like working up the courage to do it. He says, I'm sorry, little guy. And he like raises the axe, and as he's about to try and slam it down after all this delaying, it sizzles that it burns through the floor and goes to the next level. And he's like, get the next one.
Fucking useless.
Scabs is gonna walk back to Basilia. Your little friend is over there and he's holding an axe. What's he doing? Perhaps you could get him to come over here and we could have a conversation with him?
I'd rather you not kill my little toy. I can bring him over here without a fight.
Very well. And I'll
You,
kind of
uh,
hide somewhere.
stay over there and get your weapon out. We'll say that, you know, you're threatening me. You'll come to my aid, or at least understand.
Aye.
She lets out a little shocked shriek, and then says, "Oh no, help!" Just like in this like kind of low voice, like you know that like nobody under serious threat would be not screaming. Like they would be screaming much louder at this point, but like it's just loud enough for like Alphonse to. She's like maybe trying to throw her voice a little bit, make it sound like it's coming from farther away. The roll is insight. The effect is immediate as Alphonse, not even like thinking for a moment, even drops the axe, just like not used to carrying a weapon, just like or an implement like this. It drops the axe and then just like runs over around the corner, like before she can even like say like, "Oh, someone help!" She doesn't even like finish it, and Alphonse like already like sprinting around the corner. Uh, my dear, I've come to help. What's wrong? And he sees you, Scabs. Um, this this brigand has threatened me. Alphonse, get in front, please protect me. And Alphonse steps in front of her as bravely as he can, and like then like looks down at his hands at the missing axe, looks back at you, threatening. You stay away from her. You hear me?
We just wanted to have a little chat with you.
She places her hands on Alphonse's shoulders and then just kind of like drapes them over him. And you can see she whispers something into his ear, and he becomes kind of passive, like the edge is taken off his stance. And he just has like kind of a smile on his face. And says, yeah, anything for you, my dear? What do you need?
Tell them to get some of the others, one at a time if we can.
Uh, what was that?
Talking to Basilia, tell him to get the others, one if we can, or one at a time if we can.
Hmm.
We could use
Which
them as bait.
which one first, do you think?
I don't know. I couldn't see anyone. Just tell him to grab the next person he sees. Tell him we got some snakes back here or something.
You see her whisper into his ear again, and he shifts and says, "All right, I'll go get some help. Yeah, I can do that." And he trundles off much slower now, back the way he came. Um, Simultaneously, Zed, um, you roll for this. You are able to very efficiently dispatch a few pseudo snakes. This is good news, except for the fact that it means they are coming more rapidly now. Lath, so far at this point has been able to, or had been able to, splash away or intercept all of the pseudo snakes that were falling on the actual engine until now, and you hear a strange popping sound as like lightning is like spraying out of like shocks of electricity or lightning, but it looks like more like arcing lightning bolts than it does like just like a sparking of electricity, and flashes with a great deal of light and goes inert again, then bursts again. um and Sal says, yeah, we're definitely going to want to avoid more of those. And quickly runs over, and you see he has like this like extending uh, rod that has a strange implement on it that he like look more like a bell than anything, like something you'd put out a candle with. And he goes and like just reaches it over, puts it on the top of the like this like turbine that's emitting this electrical energy, and it contains at least the arcing lightning. Um, However, up till this point, you have been able to fend things off. So this is the first time anything's broken the defenses. You at this point also remain uninjured, though the you are more and more reliant on your reflexes as you have this like limited like 10-foot window of awareness of when these things are falling on you, and there's more and more of them. Why don't you give me a dexterity saving throw, please?
I hate dice sometimes. 3.
A 3. You take 2 points of acid damage as one just like grazes you before you are able to get out of the way and destroy it.
How many points was that?
2. And then why don't you roll for me a d20 as well, please?
$17.
All right. Um, the you hear sound of Alphonse around coming back into the engine chamber, and he says, "We need some help. We need some help out here. Isil, please, come." And she, like, you see Alphonse just kind of like gestures towards Isil, who is nearest the door, having just destroyed a pseudo snake that Leif had ejected over to this side towards the entrance of the engine room that you had just come through. Um,
Uh, I can hear this happening.
yeah, I don't see he says it into this room.
Alphonse, of the two of us, one is going to be much more effective at finding little tiny snakes. Is there a reason that you need her right now? Shit's
um,
kind of popping off. Did you see the lightning?
no, lightning. How exciting. You're blind though, right? And Isil's right here. So Isil's so
Yeah,
close. I thought I
which
would just
is
grab her.
why
Oh,
she's busy right now. Is there something that you really need, bud? Because you're supposed to be watching the door.
yeah, we need help out there. There are more snakes.
We?
Yes. I found some other people. They came. They're trying to help, but they're being attacked by snakes. And I thought Isil could help
Hey,
because she's
Alfonso,
right here.
can you
Why
look at
don't you
your
give me
hands?
what?
Can you look at your hands real quick?
Looks at his hands.
You see that big thing with the wood and the metal at the end?
He's not holding his axe.
Motherfucker. Alright, I'll roll whatever you would like me to roll now.
Yeah. I think I'll leave. I mean, I don't see why I would not just leave your response entirely in your hands. But you do note that Isol is not as skeptical of you. She says, or as you, she says, if people need help, let's go. I
Here,
think it seems like we have this under control for the moment.
I'm
I'll
not
be back
skeptical
shortly.
of him. No, literally, I cannot see. You can. Faster, monk. Kill the things. I will go with this man to help.
That's fine with me. She as you say that, Leith says, "Yeah, any help would be great." As he's like quickly like shifting like now like 2 streams of water and like visibly just like water. It's just like perspiring from his body. You can see him like drying out from exertion as he's like just swirling this water around, just like protecting the engine itself.
Just
And
remember,
she
if you
dashes
fail, we
back.
die.
Got it. And she dashes back and begins smashing the things. You can also notice that like she's also like grabbed some like what look to be like tiny rocks, and when she's not smashing the things that have already fallen, she's like just like eyeing them when they're falling through the air and just like throwing it like a single like like not much larger than like a small stone, not much larger than a pebble, and just like striking one of these pseudo snakes out of the air as it begins to plop down. Seems to be a capable lock. She goes back to it. Alphonse says, "Good, yeah, they didn't say who they needed help from, so you'll do just as good, Zed. Come on."
You keep saying they. Anyways, yeah, let's go.
All right.
The second I see anyone that's not Alphonse walking by line of sight is getting an arrow. He is steady
Um,
aimed, ready to go.
I think that I I don't think I'm going to give you a like a surprise. I don't think Zed's going to be surprised. So there will be like a stealth versus perception check here for your sneak attack. Um, because Zed has seemed pretty suspicious and knows that they're going into a weird situation where they're going to have to at least fight pseudo snakes, and Alphonse is being a little weird. So, why don't you give me that stealth check? Do you want to set this ambush up like just outside this chamber or farther away?
Farther away. I mean, I assumed we were a little ways back. You know, that we're maybe a corner or two because Alphonse is, I'm assuming, standing at some kind of T intersection,
Hmm.
and then the engine room is beyond that.
Perfect. Zed, how do you feel about this? Anything you would like to add or interject before things get nasty?
Alfonso, I know this seems silly to say, but I literally do not hear or see any snakes. Or people. Where the fuck are they?
They're just up ahead. I thought they'd still be making some streaming or something. They said they needed help with the snakes, and I needed to get somebody to help. The closest, the first one that they could find.
Do I hear any plippy ploppy of snakes around me?
You do, yes. The snakes have their as mentioned earlier, I think like last sesh, they don't seem to be like smart enough to be like targeting the engine specifically. It's more like the people who released them did it in a strategic location so that they're more likely to end up falling on the engine. Um, but they're also like falling through this area as they've all kind of like spread out and wormed their way around the ship to do whatever weird biological need they're doing. Um, so yes, indeed, you do find or you do hear some of these plopping around the hallway that you're in.
I start doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Just smashing some snakes.
Awesome. Um, you you smash snakes as you go, and Alphonse says, "No, it's not. These these aren't the snakes that we're supposed to be. No, come on." So why don't you give me that stealth, Scabs, and Zed, give me a perception check.
19.
Rutro.
Way less than that.
All right. Um, and also, like, just briefly, out of character before we do get into PvP. Uh, anybody, anybody have feelings about this? I'm probably gonna run this as like a pretty open, like, however this plays out. So, and PvP is notoriously imbalanced in Dungeons and Dragons. So does anybody have any qualms or things they want to say before we get into it?
Till
Get into the
death do we
nasty?
part.
I'm sorry. It's just what this shitbag character would do.
For the story
All
and
right.
glory.
For the story and glory. Well
But I
said.
but I appreciate the check-in.
Awesome. Uh yeah, so with that, you do see around the corner, Scabs pops Alphonse, and then he says, "No, come on, this way. They're just up ahead." And you see Zed tailing, just a little ways behind, having just stopped to smash and destroy some of these pseudo snakes. Scabs, why don't you give me a dexterity saving throw? See how your avoidance of these things has gone thus far.
Another 19.
You avoid the snakes, the pseudo snakes, as they fall around you, plopping onto the ground. Oh, Basilia, though.
Situation awareness. It'll save you every time.
A few moments ago, you heard a hushed, like groan of pain and a under the breath cursing, as Basilia is singed by some dropping pseudo snakes.
Who's that?
You don't hear that. That was well. Give me a perception check. Forgot to do this before, so this could have influenced things. Might give you
8.
advantage on that stealth. Nope. You don't hear it. It's muffled enough that only Scabs hears it, just because of the relative proximity. And it's yeah, I think I'll just draw something quick out on Owlbear. Do you have Owlbear accessible, Joel?
Hell yeah, I do. I'm on my laptop.
Nice. Oh, that's funny. It still has stuff from way back on this map.
Last
Clean
one.
it off.
It's Greg
Greg
and Wolf
and Wolf.
and
Aw,
2.
Sham.
And Hank and Tank and Frank.
Oh man, I love Hank and Tank and other Hank.
And that. All right, so we'll just do. We're looking at a pretty simple little hallway here. Boom. So good. Nailed it. Perfect. Yeah, so Scabs be up in that intersection, and Zed, you'll be coming from down here. And we'll have this be Alphonse. And don't have any secret snake people. But this gift can be Basilia. She'll be hiding in this little room right here. And at this point, Zed, Alphonse has walked into this space and has ushered you forward when you are struck from the darkness, or struck at least. Why don't we roll initiative? So we have Basilia.
Heart of the cards.
16.
Whoa, cool it. Alphonse. And
Rolled the 17 for
Nice.
damn.
18.
Okay. So we got sounded like Zed, you got a higher out of the two of you. 18?
Accurate. I'm so cool. I rolled really high that time.
Then Scabs, was it a 16?
16.
Scabs with a 16. Um, the other people, remaining people, did not roll super hot. Okay. With that, we go into the combats. So I guess, I mean, ultimately, this, effectively is surprise as Zed, you fail to notice Scabs aiming their. What are you attacking with?
Short bow.
Short bow. Aiming their bow. You don't hear the creaking of the string as he pulls back against the tension, and you only sense the arrow possibly before it is too late. Zed, see your attack. We'll call this just for funsies, and not making it too wildly overpowered. This will be. Oh, wait, you only have a single attack anyway, so you could only have one attack here. So go ahead. Uh, Scabs.
I'm using my actual
You're,
attack on him.
you're attacking.
Oh man. Jeez. Oh god. Um,
Are we gonna drop Zed in a single shot?
it's possible. I don't have poison. With poison, I probably could. I doubt I'm gonna do it.
Bring it,
We'll
boss.
see though. It is 16 to hit. The 16 hit.
Oh man, just at my AC. Well done.
Oh,
Okay. Since this is a sneak attack, it's an automatic crit with assassination.
automatic crit.
Yep.
Dear
Let's see.
God. Oh my
Assassinate.
God.
You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in the combat yet, and any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man, fucking assassins are beautiful creatures. So that's going to be an automatic 6 plus sneak attack is 2d6, so that's automatically 18. And then
We
Bring
want
it.
to disallow the house rule for critical just to see what the heart of the card says for this roll, or no? I'll just throw that option out there. Not one way. Not. I don't have an opinion one way or the other.
I want to see how much it gets up to before I negate it or not. If these
Yeah.
next rolls are awful, so 18 plus 15
How much HP do you have, Zed?
plus 7, so 25 plus 18. Is that gonna one? Is that gonna one shot you?
25 plus 18 is
43.
43.
43. It drops me below 0, but it does not outright kill me.
Okay,
Mm.
I don't want to like. I want you to still be alive. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna negate this
Why?
because I
I'm
think it's
fine
more
with
fun.
this. No, it's great. Drop me. There's more to game to play.
I
Do it.
all right, fine. He does the full attack damage.
Ah! Alfonso,
You're
you
dropped
bastard.
to 0, and Alphonse like, oh, oh, Zed. And that ends Scab's turn. Basilia steps out. She creeps to the corner and looks around, gives you a nod, but she was stealthing, so she really doesn't have much else she can do. So that was like movement and dash to get there while stealthing. I think 5, 10. Yeah, she'll start stepping out into the hallway. Now at full speed, but she's not getting all the way down there. Lath doesn't hear anything, continues doing his thing. Back to this top of the next round, Issel with a 24 effective on her initiative. She only because she gets her wisdom as well. But she continues her work, so let's do another round of checks for them. You hear a sparking of lightning, just this roar of energy erupt from this like not roar, but like this bang of energy just erupt from the engine room. Sort of a slight concussive blast that you feel. Um, Zed, give me a death saving throw. Oh, I didn't put Alphonse in the initiative. I thought I did. Shit. Oh yeah, it's because he got a 3.
One success.
Um, Alphonse would have gone at the bottom of last round, so I'll just have him go now. The enchantment that he was under, is the type that's broken when a friend or ally is harmed. And seeing Zed, someone who was among those who helped save his, was it you, Zed, that saved his biosphere initially, or was that Scabs? But in
Um,
either case,
I helped
he
him carry
sees,
it.
yeah, he sees
Yeah, I
someone
think I
that's helped
saved it.
him. He's just a good guy. He like sees somebody that he's, doesn't have any reason to want harmed, attacked, sees you injured, and it breaks the mind control, the charm effect on him. And he runs, "Oh, Zed, what's happened?" And he steps over to you and is going to try and give you a medicine check to try and help stabilize you. He rolled a natural 15, and I believe he's going to have a +1 to that, and I think the DC is 15. So he stabilizes you, Zed. He
Yay.
doesn't pull the arrow that's, stuck in your abdomen out, but applies pressure, just like gets you, sorted. He knows pulling it out would probably do more harm than good, but from whatever medicining he does, it's enough to keep you from death's door. That puts you at 0 though. Um, Still unconscious,
But not dead.
but not dead at this time. So on your turn, rather, instead of you don't even need to make that death saving throw, as you're stabilized now. Um, Scabs, you're up.
I think you lost control of your little friend.
Oh, give me a dexterity saving throw again, Scabs.
19. My God.
He's so dexterous.
I mean, it is a
Alphonse,
+5.
as Alphonse is leaning over you, Zed, maybe through the haze of your unconscious state, you hear "Oh fuck!" And the first time you've heard Alphonse use a curse, as like a a pseudo snake just like plops onto his shoulder, and that's like just to brush it off, and like gets this burn on his hand and arm.
And then it falls on me and I pass back out.
Yeah, and yeah. So what are you doing, Scabs? Basilia says, "Excellent work, Alphonse. I knew I could trust you. Well, one down. Scabs, unless you're having a change of heart."
Nah, I do this for fun. I think you better control your friend. It doesn't look like he's quite as engaged anymore. And he's going to start making his way down, arrow at the ready.
She is going to say to Alphonse, um, "Alphonse, dear, why don't you go back to our chambers? I'll be with you presently." And she casts suggestion on him. He fails his saving throw and says, "Of course. Well, I look forward to seeing you again." And he just begins trotting off upstairs. And that is Basilia's turn as she walks down the hallway. Eyes Zed dismissively and begins to continue walking with you, Scabs. Is that as far as you make it, Scabs?
Yeah, that's 30
Okay.
feet.
Now you can always, dash if you're not doing anything else.
He's willing to let her go ahead.
Okay. Um, excellent.
He's going real slow. He's stealthing his way.
Okay. um, yeah. So she did an action and moved. And it's she needed to make a dexterity saving throw as another one of these plops down on her. The frequency with these things are falling is increasing, and the dexterity saving throw DC is getting higher as a result. And she is grazed once again as one of these, like, not even the actual like pseudo snake, but just like some of the precursor acid drops, showing one is working its way through the hole, like drips and just like lands on her neck. And that's her turn. Lath is gonna make another check. Lath is he's doing what he can. And Alphonse, I don't think this spell will end if, yeah. Oh, if you or any of your companions damage the target, the spell ends. So yeah, even if he takes damage from a pseudo snake, it's not from Basilia, so the spell won't even end. So he can take damage, and that won't matter. You hear a slight yelp of pain from down the hallway as Alphonse is struck by some acid. Oh God! And he continues on. And we go back to the top. Syl's making her check, and she Scabs, you hear Issel call out from the engine room and say, Zed, anytime you want to come back, that'd be great. This is getting a little hairy in here. And you hear another loud like pop and like this like bang of electrical energy just like bursting forth from containment. Um, uh, then we go back to Zed, still unconscious. Zed, you are now hoping that no pseudo snakes
No
land on
snakes
you.
fall upon me.
So you can't make a dexterity saving throw in this case. So at this point, why don't you just roll a d20, and a 10 or higher means you are not struck by one.
13.
Over the next, nice, yeah. There's a few like land next to you, like splattering on the ground. You are unharmed and unaware.
I love this picture. It's like one like close to his armpit, one between his legs. It's like just everywhere, but around him.
Exactly. Scabs, it's your turn next. Yeah, this if you think that going at this pace is probably gonna, if you continue to stealth, moving it, effectively like half movement and dashing to still get 30 feet, it's probably gonna take you a couple rounds to get to the engine room. Maybe another round or two.
Okay. He'll make it to this corner here and level his bow at the entrance to the engine room. I hate to break it to you, lass, but Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
Nice, nice. Um, you hear not even a scream. You hear a shout of they killed Zed, and you hear a rush of commotion.
If you want
Basil,
to live, you better come with us and you put your weapons down.
you hear if we stop, we're all gonna die. And Basilia says, "Can you idiot! Now they know we're coming. And she rushes in ahead. On her turn, she dashes up to the trying to get to the door. Also, did you make a dex saving throw this round for me yet?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, please do so.
18.
Jesus
I
Christ!
know, man.
Well,
It's
for
all in
once,
D&D Beyond. It's like the first time it's ever been like awesome rolls.
for once, Basilia makes the save and does not take any additional acid damage. Laith, hear a cry of pain from Laith. He's, goddamn snakes! As he takes some damage as well. And with that, you hear Laith yell out to Sal. Says, "Sal, get on that one. It looks like the hole's getting wider." And yeah, you don't see what's happening, but you hear just like continued commotion. Um,
I
that
do not
brings
think you understand. The ship's going down either way. We have to get out of here. Get to an escape pod. Don't be
uh,
stupid. We'll keep you alive.
uh, Isel says, "Not going anywhere with you. Fuck off and go join your fucking snake pals in hell." And she is next up. Um, this round, she and Basilia are going to have a dexterity check to see who gets to the door first. As Isel, having heard you claim that you had killed Zed, had rushed to the door to try and shut and lock it, keeping you guys out of the engine room. Um, why don't Zed? Why don't you roll? No, it's more of a Scabs roll because he's allied with her at this moment. Um, Zed or Scabs, roll a dex check for Basilia. She has a +2 to this roll.
I rolled an 8 plus 2, 10.
That does not beat the 19 that Ethel gets. She rushes to the door, beating Basilia by moments, slamming it shut and locking it as the her words ring out through the tunnels that you go join your snake friends in the hells. Um, what would you like to do? I think at this moment, Basilia says, "Got any? Can you get us through this lock?
Yeah, I could get us through anything.
We need to hurry. We need them both."
Yeah, of course. And he pulls out his lockpicking tools.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw and a lockpicking check.
24.
Holy moly!
Natural 19.
Meanwhile, poor Basilia takes another acid at full damage.
It's just a dex or intellect or sleight of hand. I can't remember. I always forget this.
Dex plus if just dex check if you have proficiency with tools like these tools, you can add your proficiency modifier.
17.
17.
Plus proficiency. So yeah. Which is what?
19 or
3?
20? Yeah, it's either
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Oh, 2.
Um,
It's 2.
19. Not enough to break through this round. You fiddle with the Arcanomancer tech lock, but it's just giving this like annoying beeping sound as it rejects your efforts. You may try again next round, even as more of these things, these pseudo snakes, are falling around you. Celia can't really help with that. She's just like looking around both ways, like looking at the ceiling, like, hurry up, hurry up. And you can see within this chamber, Lath is looking not only like growing more and more exhausted, but looks like he has sustained some acid wounds as well. And you get to the door, and you see inside, Lath and Issel both still struggling to protect the engine, the core of this ship from these things. You see that there are now two unsealed wounds in the actual like engine, like two more places where like this like strange arcing yellow lightning is pulsing out in violent explosions of electrical energy. You see Sal Griezmann struggling to like get one of these like bell tamper things like on top of another one of these things. Like, not going to hold much more of this. We might want to take their offer. And that brings us to I'll make a quick couple dex checks. Zed, where you also once again are making a saving throw effectively. DC's
11.
gone up to 12, I was about to say. So you are struck by a drop of acid begins burning into you. You're at -3, which causes you to start just means you're dead again. So you're at 0. And I think you just start death saving throws over again.
Cool.
I'm gonna. Yeah, that's too much
I
damage
could
for
still
me.
get a natural 20 and come back up
Yeah,
with
this
one.
could end up
So
with you better off ultimately, as the acid snaps you out of it. Basilia, that's Zed. Then we go to Scabs.
This is going to sound unorthodox, but I have a plan. Try with all of your might to pull the door. And he's going to like take a step back and wait for her to like try and pull the door back. And in a moment that she's not looking at him, he's going to pull the trunk off his back and open it and throw all these snakes onto the door and her.
Holy fuck!
I'm a fan of this.
Damn. Okay. So this is the trunk that you had stolen from her way back
Yes.
when.
No, this is the trunk that was left by the.
Well, the second trunk
Yeah.
from the agents
Yes.
in the rec room. Gotcha. Absolutely. Hell yeah. You perfect. We'll wait till we'll have that action take place on. It's a ready to action. Hell yeah. And she goes right after you. So yeah, you like tell her that, and she says, looks at you for a moment. I will have you make a deception check at this critical moment, however. That seems appropriate.
Oh god, -1. 18 with the nat 20. Fuck
Jesus
yes.
Christ. She did not roll well. She looks at you and says, no, it's all right. Let's get in there and get these bastards. And we can get off this ship. And she goes to the door and starts tugging on it, just like this. She
Yeah,
begins
you're
pulling
doing a
as hard
great
as she
job.
can. Crack open the case, and just like a winning football coach Gatorade spill of like just like snakes that like begin like pouring out of like this like folded space, this like extra like pocket dimension inside this case. An impossible number of like pseudo snakes begin spilling out of it in just torrential rate. She I think deserves a dex saving throw here to take half damage, which may still kill her. If she fails this, she's like almost like guaranteed to die.
Death
She
count,
has,
baby.
I mean, it's a lot
My
of.
KD ratio is pretty badass right now.
He's fucking insane.
She does not have this as a saving throw. So she needs to roll, I think, like a 14 or higher. just to have a chance of surviving this. She rolls an 18. Scabs, why don't you roll for me on D&D Beyond? This is your snake damage. Um, we'll do 8d8 points of damage, please.
That'll be 38 points of damage.
Holy fuck.
38 points of damage, which she halves to, what is that, 19?
Yes.
Plus all the damage she's taken already. She's like screams in pain and begins like writhing in agony as all these like pseudo snakes spill over her body, just burning into her flesh. It is an agonizing scene and moment. She screams and has to like run out of this like torrent of snakes, like running through more acid covered snakes to do it. She is like just like visibly burned, like all over her head, like all of her hair and like much of the skin on her face and shoulders just like been like melted away almost. She's screaming as she like runs away. She uh still has her movement because that was her action and it was your ready to action, so she begins just sprinting away as
Does she
fast as she
take
can.
sneak attack damage from that as well?
Sneaky snake. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky snake.
uh if you can roll me another stealth check. If you get over 20, I'll let you do sneak attack on this as well.
15.
Oh. um she is heavily, if not mortally wounded as she sprints, she begins to run away from you. Lath is oh, and she didn't make her dex saving throw yet to avoid just regular snakes plopping through the ceiling.
I didn't give a damn about these snakes. I need you alive. You come with me or you die.
Are you, are you saying that too?
Lathe and the other Issel.
Yeah. You don't think they can hear you right now over the roaring of the lightning inside the engine compartment and this closed door that's now being like melted away by the snakes, just wall of snakes pressed against it. You find that you also have to like back up and away from the like crate that you opened up, as like there are too many inside and like it's just like filling the space around you, and you're like, I could get trapped in like just like in this enclosed space by all the snakes I'm releasing into it. So you have to yeah, I think you have to like back up to avoid that
Yep,
scenario.
sounds fair.
So you back up as the door is just like piled up against by pseudo snakes who all begin like immediately trying to like writhe and spread out around the ship, many of them coming towards you now. um Hell yeah. And we go on to as this madness is happening. Did I ask you this round if you gave me a dex saving throw yet? So
I
many things
think
happening.
so. I'll roll again.
You'll probably roll a 20, so don't worry about it.
14.
Hey, you did fail, and you take now 4 points of acid damage. Um, After, yeah, that's Basilia. Lathe is inside. But the last thing you saw through the porthole in the engine compartment was that things were getting really bad, quite bad indeed. Lathe, man, the way this is going, they've been rolling decently on their like dex checks. They've taken some damage to the from the acid, but they have been rolling really poorly on protecting the ship from exploding. So things are getting bad in there.
And I'm assuming that getting her damage with the acid probably breaks her concentration, and Alphonse is no longer under her control.
Oh, that is a concentration spell, isn't it? She needs. She cannot make that. Well, that was ended up being 19, so she could make this potentially. It's just a 10 con save. She doesn't make it. So somewhere, somewhere on the ship, Alphonse is like, "Oh no, it's not time to get ready to have sex. Things are getting real bad." And he somewhere comes to his senses.
Oh, horny
Um,
Alphonse.
uh, where were we? We were back up there. Lath, Alphonse. It was his turn, so it's appropriate for us. He pitter-patters his way somewhere aboard the ship. You don't know where. Maybe he's going to escape. Maybe he's coming back down. Gods only know. Issel carries on the tradition of protecting self over ship. Scabs, you hear another loud, just boom of electrical discharge as the weakened door is blown off its hinges, slams into the wall across the hallway, smearing just like hundreds of pseudo snakes against the wall itself, and just like the huge splatter of blood and acid filling this chamber. Um, Give me another dexterity saving throw to protect yourself from this explosion.
24.
Holy shit!
I know, I'm fucking buying a lottery ticket.
He's on fire.
You just dash, like just duck behind a like little outcropping of bulkhead as it splatters across the space, and then make your move. But before that, Zed, death saving throws.
15.
That's a success. Look at you go. Gonna be back to 0 in no time.
For show.
Scabs, you're up.
If you want to live, you come with me. I'm on my way to the escape pods. You stay here, you die, and everyone else does as well.
The your ears are just like kind of like ringing a little bit, and so it's kind of like this tinny response. But you hear the voice that you hadn't recognized or you hadn't known before, but now like it's this engine worker down here, Sal. He says, "Hate to say it, but he might be right. I don't know if there's much to save at this point. Uh, Give me a persuasion check there,
16?
15. There's a moment's hesitation. Lathe says, "All right, we'll go with you."
Are you the key?
I carry it.
All right then. Both you lead the way.
They rush out of the engine room with continued explosions growing louder behind them as this containment of this vast amount of like ethereal and electrical and air energy is just erupting forth from this engine. You see another like bursting arc of lightning coming out of it um, as they head out.
I reach my
They
my hand out over like the pit of acid I'm sure the snakes have just created. Be like, come on, I'll catch you.
yeah, like I think like all around you at this point, I think there's just so many of these things at the door that unless you yeah, I think at this point you are standing on top of the door that had just been blown off its hinges and now is like fallen onto the ground in a way that like the side that's not covered in acid is face up. It's going to be dangerous getting from this small little quickly disappearing island of safety, as like the hall in both directions now are like covered in dripping gore and acid, and also like still hundreds and hundreds of these snakes that are like dispersing along the hallways, leaving like grooves of like burn in the floor. Some of them are already like beginning to drop through to levels below. But getting out of here is going to be challenging. However, seemingly having accepted your offer, Lath and Issel both, and Sal, uh, all one after the other begin like jumping from the engine room where it's still like relatively clear of acid to this space you're in. Um, and Lath comes out and he's still like controlling this water, and he like brings in this vast like stream of water and just like sprays out a pathway ahead of you in the direction that you're headed, um, at least diminishing the difficulty for the first leg of that journey. Um, and he and Issel and Sal all start heading out with you, in front of you, I think.
And he'll probably fire an arrow at Basilia as she's running wherever she's running to try and finish her off as well.
She's already ducked around the corner from where you are,
Okay.
and is out of sight.
Well, yeah, he's going to try and kind of herd them towards wherever the escape pods are.
Okay. Um, Fantastic. And that brings to the bottom of the round. Alphonse pitter patters his little way. We'll go out of initiative for a moment and be a little more freeform here, but somewhere aboard this ship, Alphonse Peter patters his way through the hallways. Are you making a death saving throw, Zed?
Yeah, I got 15.
Nice. He finds his way into a little closet, gets a few vials clink in the darkness, and then he runs his portly little halfling body through the hallways back to where he came from. A burst of courage, maybe desperation or humiliation, some response to that, coursing through Alphonse's mind. Give me one more death saving throw, Zed. Actually, please give me two.
Well, I mean, I made the first one, so I'm up to
You're
0.
like, yeah, you're up to 0. Um, your body. But on 3 of these occasions, you could have been taking. On all these occasions, you could have been taking acid damage as well. That's the dangerous part.
Ooh,
So
danger.
let's roll back the clock. You have 1 success, and you need to make 2 more saves. They have already been determined as successes. That's not the issue. Now we just have to see if you took acid damage in between those. So
18,
roll 18. No acid the first one.
14.
14. Acid on the second one, which did cause you to take 2 failed death saving throws. But you're just hanging on long enough for that third one to kick in, and you stabilize. And so long as you are not hit by any more acid, that's fine.
I'm a man on a mission.
You find yourself coming back to consciousness, your head cradled by Alphonse, who's looking down on you with like tears welling up in his face. He's has just like thrown. You hear the sound of something glass like clinking away as he grabs another potion and pours a second common healing potion down your throat. Drink greedily, feeling life and healing infuse your body.
Hooray! Should I roll that? Do you want to roll that?
I'm rolling it here. So you heal 16 points of HPs. Mr. Zed, they're gone.
That's refreshing.
And if the sound of the engine's getting far worse, I don't think we have much time.
I grab him by the neck and pick him up.
Mr. Zed!
Throw him over my shoulder and start running in the direction that Sam, Gaswell, Greasewell, Greasy Bags pointed at the escape pods.
Excellent.
As we're like running down the hall, Scabs is yelling out to Issel and Lade. I know you think I'm a real son of a bitch, and I am. I'm sure you think I'm a killer, and I am. But this isn't anything personal. I just need to make, my money. This is just a job. We get this through. You complete what you need to do. I complete what I need to do. Everyone wins. So don't do anything stupid, all right?
Uh,
I got more bags of tricks than what you saw me do to the door and the lady.
Wink.
Lathe and Sam and Issel just kind of exchange a look, an uneasy look, and Lathe says, "God, fine. You keep us alive. Get us off this ship, all right?"
It's a deal. If you could keep this one.
All right.
As he
They
eyes Issel carefully.
they continue running ahead of you towards the escape pods. Why don't you give me say 3 rounds of dex saving throws? DC is going to be going back down as you are leaving the concentrated area of the pseudo snake's exposure. But it'll be going.
12.
So first one's a failure.
23.
Success.
21.
Success.
14, 16, 18. No, wait. 15, 16, 18.
Scabs, you'll just take 3 points of acid damage. And Zed, you got what?
15, 16, 18.
So the first one's a failure, and then the next 2 are successes. So you will take a nasty little 3 points of acid damage. Nasty.
Nothing.
Nasty.
Get nasty.
Scabs, you see the honeycomb room that this tunnel terminates in. It does not have any door restricting access to it, and you see clear demarcations identifying this chamber ahead as escape pods. Sal says, "Yep, it's right on this way. Plenty of them for all of us. No reason to fret for anybody. All right."
How many fit inside one?
Up to 3 fit inside each pod.
That's what I thought. And he levels his short bow and fires a shot at Sal Greaseman.
Dexterity or
No!
initiative, please.
Not Sal!
21.
One of them got a nat 20.
Ooh.
Going down the order here, that was this person. Oof. Good for them, and not good for this one. It's not here. Fonts is not here. Okay. What'd you get?
21.
21. That is just so great for you.
It's not bad.
It is not as quick as Lath, having expected your betrayal, seems to have anticipated this. He,
What?
with a natural 20, he is going to tie you and take precedence.
What? He has a higher dex than 16.
No, he's. I'm giving him the lead because his was a nat 20 versus like.
Fair. That's
yeah.
fair.
A little bit of a little mix, a little on the spot custom rule, but
Yep.
I'm gonna indulge myself with it. So Lath the Urgenasi is going to go first. He sees you level the shot at Sal, and he says, "You broke the deal!" And he is going to try and just run, and I think he's just going to try and run and tackle you, like grapple you. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. That's exactly what Lath would do. So yeah, he's gonna give me an opposed. It has to be athletics for the first one. Is that right? I always forget.
Athletics or acrobatics? No, wait.
I
It
think
does have to be
it starts with
athletics. Never mind,
athletics.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So give me an athletics check. Got a 17.
He is a very scrawny dwarf. I rolled a 3 and he got a -1.
For once, the dice are not on your side. Lath grabs you, like just runs and just like almost brings you to the ground. You're able to like keep your feet, but he just like grabs onto you, keeping you like wrapped up as best he can. He says, "Get to the escape pods. I'll hold him here and join you." Um, and the others are going to decide what they're going to do on their turn. But you have your turn next.
He was never part of the fucking deal. He's some shitbag. You're the only ones that are important. And he's gonna fire the shot.
Okay. Yeah, take the shot. Being grappled, I don't think gives you disadvantage or anything, right? It's just
It does not.
yeah, it just means your movement 0.
And since he hasn't attacked first, I get the whole assassination thing. So
Oh god damn it, Sal, why'd you have to roll a 5 on your initiative?
do you want me to roll or is he just dead?
Sal's already taken some damage to the acid snakes.
So it's
You
18 plus
Yep, you drop him.
19 plus
Sal Greaseman takes the arrow. You're like grappled, you like just elbow Lath off enough just to draw your arrow back quickly in a rapid shot. Just goes straight through just under Sal's neck. And he just like trips, falls sideways, and just like falls to the ground dead. Well done. Killed an engineer.
Yep. So he still has
You can just let him take a different escape pod.
no. He's a
Just-
witness. He's seen too much. God. He's already used his action to fire, so we can't do that. He's still got movement. All right, he's gonna follow Issel. He's
Your
gonna.
movement is 0. You are grappled.
Can I disengage?
Nope.
Damn. So I guess I can make a acrobatics check now to try and break it, right?
Action.
Oh, it's an action to do that.
Yep.
Oh, damn.
You took the path of blood.
Yeah, I mean, he's a shitbag. Shitbag's gonna shitbag.
Excellent.
Was never part of the fucking deal. Let's go. He saw my face.
So have we. You motherfucker, you were never gonna let us go.
Nah, you're important. He wasn't. What was he, fucking shitbag O'Donnell? Who cares what his name was?
I just spoke to him earlier and I found out that he has 4 children and 16 grandchildren. They all loved him and will miss him. You motherfucker.
He was very abusive. I found out from one of the other staff members. He told me.
So yeah, you're gonna remain grappled. Let's see. I think seeing this opportunity, seeing you murder another person, Issel already like is pretty fucking pissed at you, and you already killed her
Why?
once.
That was
Oh,
a mistake.
um, yeah, she is instead of running away, is going to come running back at you and start unloading her monk punches on you. And is going to blast you. It's gonna take an attack and a flurry of blows here.
I think she has advantage too, right? Because I'm restrained.
No, you're not restrained. You're just
Oh,
grappled.
okay.
Um,
Oh, that's right.
First one is going to be 14 to hit.
14 just hits.
Okay. Um,
I can't believe she would do this to me.
yeah, it's tragic. She's gonna hit you for 5 points of damage. Oops, actually, no, sorry, that's the wrong die. Coincidentally, it's still the same number, 5 points of damage.
Nice.
And you, she's going to use her, I believe it's her last key point to try and make you stun you again. So, wisdom saving throw, her DC is 13.
17.
Fuck you.
I know, man.
But she still has 2 more attacks, which she'll take. Just regular. And that's going to be a 17 to hit and a 13 to hit. So I think one
17
more.
hits. Yeah.
Okay. And that one's just going to be just 3 damage. So her flurry of blows hits you a couple times. You're able to just like in the moment of struggle, deflect or dodge one. Um,
As she punches me across the face, you see like a spit of blood come flying out of his mouth in slow motion. It's very
Perfect.
dramatic.
Everybody else is moving at regular speed, but the spit is slow
Just slow,
motion.
so slow. Um, all right. In this next round, um, Zed, you've been sprinting at full pace. You weren't slowed by the initial trudge through the ooze of snake and acid guts that Scabs and his party had to trundle through. You rush down the hallways towards the escape pods, round a corner, and ahead of you, you see Lathe and Issel both beating the shit out of Scabs, who they seem to have. Lathe has like grabbed and held, and uh, Issel is just landing blow after blow, trying to pummel Scabs to death, seemingly. Maybe like 25, 30 feet away, you see the dead body, the form of Sal Greaseman, a pool of blood just like rapidly having spilled out around his neck and head, but is already slowing in its growth. What do you want to do?
How far away is the scene?
Let's say, let me just roll a quick determiner for that. Um, we'll put this at 35 feet away.
Well, first I'm gonna run closer. Um, and seeing Sal bloodied on the floor, I'm gonna toss down Alfonso and say, "You're good with medicine, apparently. Go check on that one."
All right. I don't have any more potions though.
Do what you can.
Good.
And then I will reach out my hands as I get within 10 feet of this pile of people on the floor, and like, how do I want to do this? I'm just gonna snap a finger, because it seems like the thing I'd do. I'd snap and like outshoot just like numbers of flying lights. And I might cast color spray.
Ooh, nice. Are you going for everybody or just Scabby?
Well, it's a cone. It's gonna affect
Just hit
everybody
everybody.
there.
It's gonna like hit everybody except for Scabs, and he's just gonna murder them and get away.
Well, it starts with the person with the lowest health. Sorry, that took a second. It's one of those hard spells.
I'm at 15 HPs.
Oh,
Oh.
I never have to do the math this way. I always just like when I'm tracking monster HP, I just do addition till I hit the number.
Yeah.
Now I have to actually have math.
Sorry.
Um, they're they're both lower than 15.
Oh, damn it. Well, I got 17.
17 to spend.
Yep.
Starting with the person with the lowest remaining health is Issel. And that will take her out with not enough to spare to take Lath. So
Ah,
Issel
cool. Issel's
gets
blinded.
blinded. That's it.
Poor Issel. Can't see nothing.
So funny.
And then I'm going to run forward the last little bit and I will use my action surge. Wait, do I have action surge? Yay! I have action surge. Since you're already grappled, can I use my action surge to grapple / tie up Scabs?
Tying them up would be pretty difficult as they're still like fighting. Um, there aren't really great rules for like restraining people in D&D 5e from what I recall. So I think
Fine, I'll hit him.
yeah, dropping somebody to 0 is always the easiest way to restrain them.
That will be 23 to hit.
Oh, that'll definitely hit.
I would roll a 1. 4 points of damage. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to second wind and gain some health points. To gain an additional 11 health points.
Alphonse will run over there as well. Nice. Okay, so you lay out a little bit of damage and heal yourself up a bit. Anything else you'd like to do?
That's going to be the turn.
Okay. And did you roll initiative for me?
No.
That's what I meant to have you do, and then just act on initiative. But here we
Too
are.
late. I done goofed.
No, I done goofed.
I accept
15.
responsibility. It was my fault.
What'd you get?
15.
15.
I am
Okay.
Spartan.
Okay. So we'll go back down. From the top of the next round, Lath still has the advantage of rolling that initiative, so beats you in the turn order. Is going to just try and bludgeon you to death. Yeah, bludgeoning. That's what it'll do. Roll to 5. Misses
Nice.
his attack, but you are still grappled. Damn, you can't do much more than that right now. And that brings us down to Scabs. You're up again. Did you get up in melee, Zed?
Yes, indeedy.
Okay, so yeah, you saw Alphonse run out in front of you, trying to tend to the body of Sal Griezmann, the man you just murdered, and Zed has come up behind you and trying to give aid to Lath. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're at the bottom of the initiative. That's what's going on. All right, Scabs, you're up.
Scabs is going to attempt to break free from this grapple. That's a 10 for acrobatics.
10.
Damn, my
Let's
rolls
see.
failed me right at the end.
When you needed them most. Oh, that's cocked. That's a natural 19.
Damn it.
You remain grappled.
Bonus action. I'm going to attempt to hide. I'm going to try and climb into the bag with with the key in it. I don't think that's going to work.
I climb into Lath's pocket.
He's going to quaff that potion he's got.
Hmm.
The second.
Oh, the healing potion?
Yeah.
Nice.
Which will heal for 10. All right. Yeah, he pulls out a little potion. Listen, if you let Timothy O'Malley go, you'll never see me again. And that'll end his turn.
So we ended did we end with it was just after you went, Scabs? Or it was after Zed went?
Scabs.
Yep.
Okay, so Scabs is gone, that means it's Zed's turn.
I was hoping you would say that. I will call out to Alfonso. Is he alive now?
Alphonse is I'm doing what I can, I'm not sure.
All right.
Still trying to assess the body.
Listen, folks. This ship's gonna explode soon, and I don't have a lot of time.
As you say that, there's an explosion that rocks the ship as it kind of shakes and you can feel the whole thing go a little bit off angle for a moment. Shudders as it tries to steady itself again.
Yeah, just like that. Issel, you want to go get one of these things going so we can get on it? Yo,
Yeah.
Lath,
Yeah,
I got
I'll go.
I got the hold. And
She's Issel blindly tries
Oh,
to
fuck. At the end of this turn, your vision will come back. Don't worry. We're still in initiative, and I am gonna grapple Scabs.
Okay.
I didn't need both of you hugging me. Just let me go. You'll never see me again.
And
Also
I
never see you
rolled.
again if I kill you and throw you off the ship. Lath says. And that's an opposed athletics, Scabs.
I rolled 17.
I rolled a 2 for a 0.
Yes.
We found Scabs' weakness. Just grab him.
All right, Lath, go get on the ship. I got this.
You're sure?
Go.
Gives you a nod. After Zed, we go down to Issel, who runs off. Vision restored now?
Yes.
Okay. Her vision restored. She sprints down the hallway towards the escape chambers, the last 20 feet to get into this a round open sort of chamber inside that has all these um honeycombed alcoves in the walls, and you see that she runs up to one of these little alcoves things that are little octagon thing that you can looks like you can she just swings open this hatch and you can jump inside, and there's space for several people to clamber in. She jumps in and begins. You can hear briefly a soft hum of some things coming online. That is quickly overshadowed by another explosion of energy from the ship's engine being released. Somewhere else on this ship at this very moment is Basilia Bessemer, whose goals here, she has decided, may be best achieved by seeing the whole ship go down as quickly as possible. She is on death's door, however, and is going into the heart of danger. Why don't the two of you give me some dexterity saving throws for Basilia as she tries to sabotage the engine works, having backtracked in there now that you guys had all left, trying to bring the ship down. But does she survive long enough to see her machinations completed? Why don't you both give me two dexterity saving throws for her?
We said it's a +2.
Yes, +2.
Unnatural 20.
Ooh.
13 +2.
So 15 and a natural 20.
7.
And then 13.
So we've got one success. She is on death's door here. She let's see. She has 7 hit points remaining. That's 3 acid attacks. Each of these is 1d4. So Scabs, why don't you roll me a d4? And Zed.
It's a 2.
1.
So she can survive. That is 3 points of damage, meaning she has 4 HP left to complete her mission. She has 1 more acid attack that was a success. Scabs, no, Zed, roll this last acid for me. Last pseudo snake attack. 1. She lives long enough to see
Oh my
whatever
god.
her machinations, to see them completed. Meanwhile, hundreds of yards away, the Sal Greaseman lays dead on the ground as Alphonse looks back at you, Zed, and he says, "There's nothing I can do. He's gone."
Well, then get your ass on the escape pod.
All right. He turns and runs to the escape pod. There were room for 3, and now 3 are in this escape pod. And they close the hatch behind them. And Lath says, "You'll be right behind us. Hurry. There's not much time." He gives you a nod. You can see a lot of gratitude in that, in his eyes and in that nod as he like slides it shut. You have seen to it that he can get to safety as well as Isel. They get aboard. You
Oh.
hear something lock.
Before the door shuts, if I can, be like, when you're done, can you send a letter to fucking not Scofia, wherever the fuck I told you I was from in my backstory. If we don't see each other, just send a letter to my niece. Told her I died a hero.
You get a nod from Lath as he notes that information. It says, "Don't make me write a letter. Get aboard a ship. Come on. Kill that bastard and be done with it." And the door shuts. You hear some locking mechanism slide into place, and that ship prepares to launch.
Ah, you stupid fucking giant. Look what you done.
Shut it.
Scabs, you're up. You hear
Scabs
more
is...
rocking. You feel the ship rock as another blast like rolls out through the just. Yeah, is the ship is just seemingly falling apart at this point.
Yeah, he wants to get to an escape pod, follow after him. The mission's not over yet.
You are grappled.
I will try to use my athletics, or I'm sorry, acrobatics to break away.
Okay, opposed check.
15.
It's either good or bad. I think, or he's checking to see.
15.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Who wins?
I don't know in this case. I think it's usually like it's an opposed check. Why don't we just do a roll off?
Rollies.
Roll it off.
11.
5.
Yes. Nice. All right. So Scabs looses himself from Zed's grip, slips away.
Disengage and then sprint, a dash to
It's
get to.
action. Oh, your rogue lets you
Yes.
disengage for free or as a bonus action.
Bonus action to disengage.
That's your action and bonus action. Then you can have your movement, so you don't get to sprint.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still gonna run fast. He just can't
Yeah.
dash.
What is your movement?
30,
30.
I think. 25. I'm a little person.
25. Oh yeah, you're a dwarf. I'm gonna let the fates, it says we are theater minding that. Let the fates decide here. The escape pod, the nearest one is, you like reached the entrance, but you have not boarded it yet.
Okay.
Anything else that you'd like to do on your turn?
Yeah, fucking giant. You ruined everything. And that'll be it.
Zed, you're up.
I didn't ruin anything. I did the job I was paid to do, and I run after him and like run past him through the door and start slamming the buttons to get this thing out of here.
Oh, their pod is already, like, you can see that, like, it already, like, whatever engagement it
No, the
needs
one
has already
Scabs
been
is
done.
on.
Oh, he's not aboard one yet. He's like
like at
standing,
the
like,
door, right?
yeah, he's like just about to like start climbing into one, I would imagine, or like opening the hatch.
All right. Well, as it opens, I'm running past him and like hitting him into it and starting to turn it on so we can get the
Oh,
fuck out of
you
here.
want to launch him into you want to put him in the escape pod?
Yeah.
Okay, and like
With
climb
him.
in after it. I
Yeah.
see. Yeah, that would be a push attack to push him in there. Or Scabs, you can just allow it to happen, I'll say. Do you want to go solo desperately, or do you want to allow Zed to wrangle you here a little bit? You're muted or something?
Pressing the wrong goddamn alt button. No, he would try to avoid it. He doesn't know about the imminent danger, and he will try and fight his way to. He wants to survive as much as possible.
Yeah, well, this isn't preventing you from surviving. This is just, going out in a escape pod with Zed or on your own. That's the challenge
He'd
here.
rather go alone.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, push attack to, I'll say, like, if you can push him, if you can succeed on this push attack, you'll be able to basically like put yourself between him and the way out. So you'd have to interact with you in order to get out of it, because you can't pass through an enemy's spot. So push attack. This will be another like opposed athletics check.
Okay. Holy
8.
shit! Nat 20 for an 18.
Or an 18.
Yes.
What'd you get, Zed?
8.
That's not more than 18. You try and shove Scabs into the pod, but he like is able to fend you off.
Quit
Both
pushing me around.
Get in the pod. Let's get the fuck out of here.
My mission's not over yet.
a huge explosion rocks the ship. Why don't you both give me do strength saving throws to stay afoot. Be like more like climbing than acrobatics, I'll say.
2.
Well, let's say now that doesn't make sense. We'll do either one. Athletic, you can do a strength or dex saving throw, whichever you prefer for staying on your feet on this explosion.
15.
12.
12, and what'd you get, Zed?
15.
15. Scabs, you are knocked prone by the just like bucking of the ship. Zed, you were able to maintain your footing. And we go back up to the next round. Scabs, you're prone, but you can get up and potentially get in this pod you're next to and just like shut the door behind you. Because Zed isn't in it either. It might be an opposed check to try and like shut it versus him trying to keep the hatch open, or you could try and get past him and get to a different pod. Whatever you want to do.
You couldn't just fucking let me go. And he pulls out his dagger and stabs. Yeah, he's gonna make a dagger attack.
Right.
22 to hit.
That'll hit.
That'll be 13 points of damage. If we're including sneak attack, only 6 if not.
How would you be getting sneak attack?
There's a rat on the other side of him that you guys didn't see, but Scabs did.
Yeah, they immediately made allies friends with that rat. Like, hey, harry him from the other side, rat.
So it'll be 6 points of damage.
Yeah, it's not gonna do it.
Damn. Should have used my rapier.
All right, Zed.
Do you want another one? I'll fucking do it again.
Did he stand up?
Yes, he probably would have stood up to make that attack. Oh wait,
Okay.
so I have advantage. Well, whatever.
Why would
Why
you
would
have
you have
advantage?
advantage? I'm not on the
Because
ground.
you're not prone.
You
Right,
were the
never
one that
mind.
was
Yep,
prone,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Sorry.
Okay. Oh wait, fuck! I forgot I could do that. So whatever, it's fine. I'm going to attempt to. Fuck it, I'm gonna hit him with my glaive. No, I'm not. I rolled a natural 1. Why did I fucking?
How sad.
I'm gonna walk past him then and try to start the ship.
Just as
Oh, that's an action, huh?
yeah, you'd have to get to a different one, I think, because
Never
he's kind
mind.
of blocking the entrance to this one. So
I'll
you'd have to
stay
like
in this.
disengage, or yeah.
Uh,
It wouldn't be. You could definitely get in one of these without using your action. It would just be an action probably to. Well, it's an interaction. I would say you could probably get in one and close the hatch behind you if you got away from him, but that would be provoking an attack of opportunity to do so.
no, I'm alright. I'll stand here with him and try to keep pushing him in the fucking thing.
All right. Scabs, you're up.
Scabs is going to use steady aim. So I'm going to steady myself and pick up your giant head with no wait, no. You're standing. Yeah, shit, he's gonna aim for the Achilles tendon. And he's gonna grab his dagger. So steady aim means I can attack, but I can't move. So,
You
but
can
it
do
gives
that with
me
a non-ranged attack.
yeah, as a bonus action, you give yourself advantage on your next attack roll on the
Oh.
current turn. You can use this bonus action only if you haven't moved during this turn, and after you use a bonus action, your speed is 0 until the end of the current turn.
Nice. Okay.
You
Steady
should've just
aim. Gap.
Yep. So he's going to have advantage on this attack. You should have just fucking let me go. I'm gonna get them anyways. I always do. And he's gonna make his attacks. 10 or a 10. Holy fucking shit. Yeah, I can't do anything else. That's the end of my turn. Motherfucker.
This is the fourth one since then. Zed, you're up.
I am up, aren't I?
We just can't hit each other.
I think Zed's like almost dead at this point. Yeah, like 10 HP or less? 8?
You don't know about my hit points.
There are plenty of them. Don't worry about them.
There's so many not good options. Uh, Yeah, I fucking gotta knock him out because he's not gonna. Zed one's off the fucking ship though. Uh, there's no way for me to get around his small butt.
Yeah, not without moving him. He's kind of like you. Yeah, I mean, not if you. Yeah, you can't really get into the pod that he's blocking. You can get into any other pod, but that one's
All right, I'm gonna grapple him.
gonna try and grab a different pod
No, I'm gonna
or
grab him.
grapple him. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Athletics check.
Holy
22.
shit! Nat 20 for an 18. Oh, but you still win it.
Yeah, you do.
Thank God. Uh, so since he's grappled, can I like drag him into it then?
Yeah, you can move at half your pace
Perfect. I'm
with the
pushing him,
grappled target.
just like dragging his ass into the one that we're in front of.
We'll just call that yeah, is that true? I'll have to look that up. But yeah, we'll call it true for now. You haul his ass, you just like shove and push and haul his ass with your glaive, just like body slamming him, just like giving like that check, pushing him into the escape pod. You find yourself, do you go in after him?
Yeah.
I assume. Yeah.
Like,
You
yeah.
Scabs, you are pushed and pummeled into the escape pod. Um you guys hear another rocking explosion rip through the ship, and you hear a shearing of metal of the ship's hull. You feel like this thing is coming apart as the engine goes through its death rolls, death throes, and you have very little time, if any, to get out of this ship if you want to live. What are you going to do, Scabs? You've just been corralled into this escape pod. Zed has taken this moment not to, and taken several moments not to try and strike you down, but just keep you at least corralled or controlled in some way. You have a moment here to continue this fight and delay your escape or focus on surviving. What are you going to do?
He is going to steady his aim, and he is going to aim this dagger for the artery, the femoral artery that he sees bulging in Zed's leg, and he is going to make an attack. You should have just fucking let me go. Now you're gonna fucking die. 13 to hit or
Doesn't
10 to
hit.
hit. Both
Doesn't
miss. For fuck's sake.
Both miss?
Yes, 10 and 13.
That's so fucking funny.
My fucking rolls were beautiful all night, and right, yeah, it's all garbage.
Abs. Oh, you missed twice. Zed is deflecting the blows, dodging. You're only able to do just like these like slight little like slivers of cut into him, deflecting from any real damage. Zed, you know this. You know you're in the same situation. You felt this ship tearing itself apart. These increasingly substantial explosions ripping out from the engine. You see this psychotic Scabs trying to kill you while both of you are about to die. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna get the thing running as fast as I can so we can go going.
The controls that you need are at the front of the cockpit or front of the escape pod.
How
It's a
far
narrow
away is that?
passage. You would have to pass this. You have to pass Scabs to get to it.
I'm still holding him.
Oh, you're still grappling him. Yeah, we'll let you twist him around and spin him.
He is a skinny dwarf.
I'll allow it since you're grappling. Yeah, you pass them. You like shift yourselves up to the front of the pod and start. It's like a simple like design, like such that like anybody could activate this thing and get to safety, whether they be trained or not in its use. And there's just like this panel that just like reads, "Would you like to disembark the ship?" And then there's just like this large like simulated like illusory button that just says yes on it.
I hit the yes button.
You hear this like of a lock behind you as the pod begins to like hum and shake with energy. It just bursts forth from its housing in the side of the ship, and both of you are just like propelled backwards for a moment. In this moment, as you lurch under the sudden and surprising force of the ship's engines or movement, go ahead and give me another dex saving throw or lose your footing in this tense situation.
Both of us.
Yes.
7.
9.
Ugh.
You both fall in a mess on the ground as the ship's movement just like just strikes forth with such speed that you were caught off guard and you fall down to the ground. Both of you laid prone. The next round, Scabs, what would you like to do? The ship is underway. You find yourself in a tangled mess on the ground. Zed also in this pod with you.
As the big ship hasn't exploded or anything yet, right?
No, it doesn't. It hasn't. You look back and you can see that the rear of the pod, similar to the like the portal, like the strange, not quite glass, sort of, but transparent material that you can see through. You can see the um, um, was it the Eternal Dawn growing slowly smaller in the background as it's like listing and still traveling forward the strange angle. And you can see just like in huge explosion of lightning erupts out of one of its sides. You also see that there are other escape pods just like fleeing the ship, falling away from it.
There's no like controls to try it. Well, I guess I probably wouldn't know which one's theirs. Blind Rage. He probably lost a dagger when he got knocked over and the ship came tumbling over. He's gonna try and just punch at Zed here.
Hmm. Yeah, go and give me an attack roll.
That's a 6.
Um, Yeah, you're just like grab Zed. You're both still on the ground. You haven't even gotten up. You're just like trying to continue the fight. You just like try and punch him, but the ship like lurches sideways and like you punch the ground. Your hand like bounces off the hard floor, bruising it for like glancing away from his head. You guys are in this struggle. Zed, you're up.
Why won't you just fucking die?
You have to get hit to die? Now, will you fucking knock it off? I don't want to have to beat you up at the moment. Here, and I shove some blue crystal in his face.
Well, the Thieves Guild's gonna have my fucking ass for this, but might as well have fun doing it. And he grabs it and snorts a big fat fucking line of blue crystal. Woo!
Freeze frame.
Oh, it's beautiful. In this moment, you're both like getting up off of the ground, like you both like put each other through hell. Zed or Scabs, you're like suddenly just like feeling the rush of that the blue crystal ride that you're embarking on. You guys both glance out the back of the ship and you see just like the listing form of the Eternal Dawn, just like seemingly just like suck in on itself from both sides till it like flattens like a plant pancake and then explodes in this enormous ball of lightning. Um, your ship is consumed in that expanding ball of lightning and utterly destroyed. Scabs and Zed's bodies are ripped to their molecular pieces by the electrical energy ripping through them. The remaining like debris of the Eternal Dawn is scattered in this horrific like rain across what we would in the future know as maybe the southwestern portions of the Bone Wastes. Some distance away from you, at the very edge of the explosion and the destructive shockwave, blown off their course by it, but still living, Lath and Issel crash to the surface somewhere in the unknowns. the lock and the key kept, at least for now, or from the hands of apocalyptic cult of Yuan Ti.
So many
That was fucking
emotions right
awesome.
now.
Yeah, man.
Fucking one shot. Heart's
Yeah.
broken.
Uh,
Oh man, I was hoping
Oh.
we would get out in time. I was ready for the adventures of Zed and Scabs through the deserts of the fucking bone
Because every
waste.
day Scabs considers killing Zed, and every day Zed keeps Scab high with his bag full of blue crystal.
As long as the bag is full, everyone lives.
There's tales of them for generations of the two madmen wandering the desert.
That was fucking awesome. That's probably like we've done a number of one shots, but this is probably my most favorite one we've ever done.
Yeah, this was really fun.
I'm glad you all enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as well.
Oh
What
So-
god.
what a ride.
Yeah, I kind of want some like background. Like, what was there a plan? Was there like I want this to happen, or I prefer this happens, or
Not really. Like I knew roughly like what the I knew a good idea of like what the initial conflict was going to be. I didn't know how you guys were going to respond to anything, so I didn't know how things were going to progress. So like pretty much everything after like you guys going down to the rec room was pretty just ad-libbed. With like knowing like the what different parties were wanting to achieve. Um And yeah, so that was yeah, I had no idea what you guys were gonna do aboard the ship really. Once things kicked off and you guys got aware of, some of the people trying to kill you or run afoul and stuff. So
well, I
but
hope we did
no.
not disappoint.
No, yeah, that
Oh.
was a lot of fun. I had a great time struggling to keep up with your guys' madness. So that's great.
It was so fun. They fight together, then they fight together, then they fight together again, and then they
And then
die
they
in
die
fiery.
together. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I was like tracking the number of rounds after we determined if Basilia's efforts were going to be successful or not. And it was like kind of like counting down to when the ship was going to go up. And when there's just two people and they just have one attack, those rounds can go pretty fast. So it was like I think
Yeah.
around like the fifth or sixth after that, when it finally went up.
Yeah, I knew it was a bad idea to keep attacking, but it's just what Scabs would have done.
Yep. Scabs is being scabs till the bitter end.
I mean,
Oh,
his KD
God.
ratio is probably like the craziest we've seen out of all characters so far.
That is very true. No rest.
No, that was awesome.
Yeah, but I was really curious to how things would turn out because how things turned out like is definitely going to like influence like this is all canon history stuff. So like, there's a chance that, you could find the remnants of this ship out there. There's like, all those sort of things. And you guys never learned or saw what the key was inside that package, so I won't spoil anything there. But yeah, this is all like canon, like it's prehistory, like pre-campaign, but it's all canon. I was just going to tie it in different ways based on how things played out. But yeah, it was a lot of fun seeing how you guys went about things.
Did
Yeah,
you
is
plan
that
this knowing that we were at that part in the campaign where we were going to start talking about this more, or is that just coincidence?
No, I think it's more like I mean, I always have like ideas for one shots and stuff for various places in the world and whatnot, and then I was just like, nah, I'm just gonna do this. I wanted them snakes on a plane on an old cruise airship. That was the idea before anything else, and I was like, yeah, I can make that work in the history and stuff, and it just rolled from there.
I wish I could say
Amazing.
that I planned the Zed's Dead baby, Zed's Dead, but it just like it just happened and I'm like, this is amazing.
So good. Zed's dead, baby.
Even though it like gave away our position and
Yeah.
everything. I'm like, I have to say this.
Worth it.
Oh,
Oh,
God,
man.
that was great.
Well, another successful one shot.
Yes.
We did it.
Thank
We
you very,
played.
very much.
Thank
pleasure.
you, Mark. That was great. It was time for me to go pass the fuck out. I've got like 6 hours the last 2 days.
Oh my
Jesus.
God. All right, you guys have a good weekend.
Yeah, hit me up, Evan, if you want to play that game, and I'll
Yeah,
see you
totally.
guys later.
I'm gonna